All right. Welcome back, ladies and men of prestige. We're doing late night this week. I did say that yesterday that we're gonna be doing late night. I'm not sure how this is gonna pan out, but nonetheless, let's have fun. Welcome back. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. I've got a few things to cover today. Hopefully, majority of the people that are not able to catch it tonight will catch the show in the morning. If you're watching the rebroadcast of this, please do let me know in the comments that you were able to catch the rebroadcast. Now, if you're watching me live right now, it's 10 p.m. New York time. It's late night. It's 3 a.m. Niger time. It's still early in the morning. If you're watching me, please do me a favor, hit that like button, okay? Also, let me know in the chat that you're watching, that you're supporting so much, that you're actually watching this late night. Nonetheless, we have an important topic to cover today. Welcome back. Let me see who dares. back. Good to see you. Yes, this is the late show with Allah today. I know I'm busy this week, but I still wanted to make sure that we'll continue to push the momentum. So we're gonna be keeping it maybe an hour at most, so it's gonna be short, sweet. Let's just make sure we're hitting the like button so that people can catch it in the morning, because yes, that's gonna be this week. That's just how it's gonna be this week. Maybe Friday I can squeeze in. Yeah, I doubt it. Even Friday, right? Maybe Saturday. Maybe, I don't know. I'll be traveling that weekend too. But we're gonna keep doing this show. That's the bottom line, right? So we've got a very important topic to cover today. As you notice, we do have Father MBAKA on the thumbnail. But then, as I was getting ready to come on, I noticed that David and CHIOMA is trending, right? David and CHIOMA, they are trending. So you can even see a little bit of typo there, right? But yeah, I have some thoughts around this couple. I also have some thoughts around Father MBAKA. He actually came on my radar about 3-4 months ago, when he first made some wild statements about Peter Obi. I almost want to agree with him, and I'll explain why I almost wanted to agree with him 4 months ago. But I also tell you why I am disagreeing with him now. I guess I could just tell you right now. Number one reason is I can change my mind, right? I can change my mind, right? But yes, let's talk about it. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, so let's first of all talk about Father MBAKA. Let me show you this the story. This is the story that was trending earlier. Okay, now like I said, it came on my radar about 3 months ago. He made some wild statements about Peter Obi. He said he was a stingy man. A stingy man cannot become the president of not United States, of Nigeria, right? I agree with that statement that a stingy man cannot become the president of Nigeria. Okay. Okay, maybe not exactly like that. Maybe what I'm trying to agree with is that a stingy man becoming the president of Nigeria right now is probably a bad idea. A man who does not understand that flow of money, easy flow of money, is really what Nigeria needs the most right now. It's probably going to be a terrible choice for Nigeria. Now, I didn't know enough to be able to say that Peter Obi is a stingy man. I still don't know enough, right? The only thing I can tell from a lot of his rhetorics, okay, you know, if you're watching me, by the way, Omoye, I would love to have your take on this. I would like to have Omoye actually sell us more on Peter Obi. I like the movement so far. I am hoping that Nigeria makes a new statement, that Nigeria proves to the world that they can actually make a choice for themselves. But I'm also looking at things from another angle of free flow of money. I don't care the source of the money. I don't. Okay? I don't care if it was stolen. If it's stolen from the same people, but you're allowed to flow into the market for the same people, I am all for that. I don't care about morality when it comes to choosing the president of Nigeria right now. I think the state of the nation in general, no one can really sit on a high horse and claim morality anyway. I think the nation needs economy, a healthy economy. I think the nation needs money to be flowing. I think the nation needs people to be empowered, to be able to spend money. And obviously that means they are earning money. Obviously they become more economically empowered to be able to do business with the rest of the world. If Nigeria is not able to sell the rest of the world, they will keep having the same problem. It's really that simple. It doesn't matter how oldly the how oldly the president is, they will keep having the same problem. So that part of what he said in Baka, what he said then, I kind of agree with. Right? I kind of agree with that part that a stingy man, it's probably a bad idea for a stingy man to become the president of Nigeria. The part I couldn't possibly agree with him on is because I just don't know enough about Peter Obi, is that if he's actually a stingy man. Now, what I've heard so far is that he's a very successful businessman. It's very unlikely that a stingy man in the real sense of it will be a successful man. Okay? Business wise, right? You can tell it's late, right? You can tell the way I'm talking, right? So I doubt it, right? That he's probably just a stingy man like that, right? Now I do know that a lot of I think probably makes sense that two of his what do you call this thing? Manifesto. Two of the major topics on his manifesto, like everyone else, is probably security and corruption, right? If you're fighting corruption and it doesn't factor in the fact that economy is number one, as in like priority over corruption, as in like you need to realize that corruption is not the reason why the economy is bad. If you're still thinking that way, you don't understand how economy works. Okay? Money needs to flow easily in the marketplace. If you're fighting corruption so bad that money is not flowing in the marketplace, we'll not go all suffer. That's it. We will all suffer, even including us that will live in the diaspora. Okay? That's my take on that. So MBAKA, particularly in this time right now, I want to talk about him being so vocal. Okay, so let's look at this news, right? About politics in Nigeria, right? My question is that, is he a bullied man? Is he being bullied by the Catholic body? Or his well-deserved It is a well-deserved treatment by the Catholic authorities. Okay, he just got silenced. This is another man who runs his mouth heavy. He has big opinions, but the result is created is that he got silenced. What's the point of you talking so loud and so disrespectful? And if you're going to get silenced, what's the point? If you're going to get silenced before whatever that mission is accomplished, what's the point? That's the question I'm trying to get an answer to. Right? Let's look at this news right here. The Catholic Bishop of Enugu Diocese, let me just make sure that you guys can see so we can read it together. The Catholic Bishop of Enugu Diocese, Most Reverend Callistus Onaga. Callistus, yeah. Who watches Callistus here? On Yawa Skits. Reverend Callistus Onaga has reposted the chaplain and spiritual director of Adoration Ministry Chaplaincy, Reverend Father Ejike MBAKA, to monastery. Okay, monastery is like a place where the monks just sit and pray for the rest of us, for the rest of their lives. All right, so basically they're making him inactive. The new chaplain of the Adoration Ministry Chaplaincy, which used to be some kind of ministry, I heard they changed the name as well, is now Reverend Father Anthony Amadi. Father Mbaka's followers, however, are rebelling against the decision as the new chaplain, Father Amadi, was reportedly chased out of the ministry by adorers, as Mbaka's followers are fondly called. The Punch, which is what I'm reading right now, shout out to The Punch, it's been there forever. The Punch had reported that the Catholic Diocese of Enugu had on June 3 banned MBAKA from commenting on political issues after activities in the ministry were suspended. All right, so those few months ago, he made some disrespectful comments, okay, to Peter Obi, again calling him. Now he has since then actually apologized. I'll play a video of that apology in a second. Upon reopening, the church turned the ministry into chaplaincy to give greater role and to power monitor. Okay, so that's a lesser power organization, I guess. To power monitor excesses in the ministry. Okay, so he talks, he's a highly opinionated man. People obviously love what he's saying. Some people love what he's saying, so they follow him, right? Because when you have extreme polarized views, you tend to get more followership. Okay, it's especially about politics or religion. Any kind of topic that people can easily find controversial, right? Shortly thereafter, Father MBAKA violated all the conditions and rules. This is what they love about him. Let's not the cap. That's what they love about him. He break rules. Human beings, they would like to avoid breaking rules, but they like to idolize anybody that break rules. That's just the way it works. He violated all the conditions and rules set out for the chaplaincy and went into verbal attack. Okay, so that was after. So they tried to control him, they tried to silence him, but it wasn't good enough. Then he went on a verbal attack. Okay. All right. On the person of Peter Obi, calling him names in pulpit. Sequel to the outrage that followed, Bishop Onaga issued a pastoral injunction directing all Catholic faithful, priests, sisters, religious, to stop visiting the ministry until further notice The bishop also advised Catholic faithful to pray for MBAKA. Onaga had said, that's the bishop of that diocese, in the light of the happenings in the Catholic Adoration Ministry Chaplaincy Enugu, capable of undermining the Catholic faith and teachings. And after several fraternal corrections and admonitions to Father Camillus Ejike MBAKA, the chaplain of the ministry, and after having given pastoral directives and guidelines for the ministry chaplaincy, which he persistently violated. Okay. And in fulfillment of my pastoral duties as the chief shepherd, with the obligation to promote and safeguard the Catholic faith and morals in Enugu Diocese, I hereby prohibit all Catholic clergy, that's a command, clergy, religious and lay faithful, henceforth from attending all religious and liturgical activities of the Catholic Adoration Ministry until the due process initiated by the diocese is concluded. My decision is based on the fact that some of the teachings and utterances of Father Camillus. Now, for those of you that may have known him in the past, how was this guy in terms of the word? Was he a guy that what's his lifestyle like? There's a lot of Reverend fathers that their lifestyle don't necessarily align, right? But was he a guy that walked a straight line before he started having all this kind of extreme polarized views about politics? The Catholic Adoration Ministry are not consistent with the teachings and faith of the Catholic Church. However, upon reopening of Adoration Chaplaincy on Sunday, MBAKA, who bore a heavy heart, reportedly managed to announce to his admirers, you could tell it's late, right? Admirer, that he had been transferred to a monastery as his new pastoral place of work. Again, a place where he's just going to pray for the rest of us. For the rest of his life, effectively is being silenced. But he can get on social media and talk, right? There's another father that I really like that really says a lot of things that make sense. I forgot his name now. I forgot. As he announced the successor of Father Amadi, the adorers revolted and rejected. Almost, I'm hiding this, I read this somewhere else, that he was almost attacked by the members of that ministry. There you go. Some members of the ministry have described the development as unfortunate. So they really love him. Again, if you're going to be so loud and you're going to get silenced, what's the point? You have to use wisdom, right? One of them who spoke to journalists. Okay, by the way, you don't have to use wisdom. Sometimes your mission is to be so loud that you get silenced, and then you become somebody that will be worshipped for ages to come. I'm just being honest. Sometimes that's how it goes. It's not always that you have to walk a straight line or walk on the edges, or it's not always that way. Some people have a mission that's just bigger than life itself, and sometimes they get silenced, and then their message gets louder because it's not about them, it's about the message. But if that wasn't the mission, if you're not too clear that's who you are, you might want to apply wisdom, because what's the point again if you're going to get silenced if you have a message? Let's not be stupid. This authorities, and there's a way you speak that it will be received by the general public. There's a way you speak that it's not going to be received. Or like I said, maybe you're the exception where your message will be received long after you're gone. But that's the exception. That's rarely the case, right? Meanwhile, the church has remained silent on the issue of his transfer to monastery, as efforts to speak with the director, Catholic Communication, Reverend Father Benjamin Archie, were unsuccessful, as his phone indicated switched off. He probably doesn't want to talk. Anyway, that's the message that I'm getting out of this MBAKA thing. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. If your message is not even going to land, what's the point? If you're communicating and you're not gonna get the message across, what's the point? If you're the exception and your message is powerful enough to transcend beyond even your own lifetime, please knock yourself out. I wish you best of luck, but it's very unlikely that's the case. You're probably just too loud and you don't know how to talk. We don't know which one is which one. I'm just saying, apply wisdom. Okay. All right. So right now, let me see if let's talk about let's talk about Chioma, and shout out to all 7 of you watching me late night. Don't forget to hit the like button. I know it's kind of late. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Okay. And if you're watching this as a rebroadcast later, by all means, please do the same thing and let me know inside of the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. And no, we won't be doing call-ins this week. Yes, let's just keep it simple like this. Keep it laid back, relaxed, right? And let's keep getting the lessons out. Next week we'll be back. I hope. Okay. I hope. All right, so let's go here. So we got this news. Apparently, they have they're out here flaunting their relationship again. Okay. Now, here is let's just read it first. Okay. There's this news say we love them both. Fans gush as Davido and Chioma cuddle up as they attend singer's cousin's birthday party. I'm gonna just read this to you. This is a fine print of some sorts. Okay. Music superstar Davido and his third baby mama Chioma Roland got their fans talking when videos of them at a recent event emerged online. The lovebirds, let me see if the video is somewhere here. I think it was somewhere on this page. Let's see. All right, that was the video right there. Let's see. Oh, okay, just making sure that. All right, so that's one of the videos. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. You know who Davido is? Is arguably the biggest star in Nigeria. Arguably, in terms of it's probably him, Burna Boy, or Wizkid. Okay. In one of the videos, the two lovers were all around each other as they made some enviable gestures to the camera and also debuted a strange handshake. Okay, so they're feeling themselves right now. They're back in love. Maybe there was they have one baby together. Now, let's see here. Nigerians react as Chioma and videos cough, let's cough. Social media users across the country have reacted differently to the videos of Davido and Chioma giving lovers vibes at the singer's cousin birthday party. Love them both together till infinity. Online in-laws, how market. These two have started again. Choke us with it, I beg. We love to see celebrity lovers of out time. Is that a saying? She don't tell Mickey promise not to high tonight. God when. So when people say God when, it's like, oh, Davido and Chioma will never get tired of her. Keep being in love. So people love the idea of these two lovebirds being together. And it looks like Davido tends to get easy forgiveness when he messes up. So there was another viral news about him walking around town with this other lady. And of course, he has other baby mothers, just like Wizkid, I think, right? These guys are rock stars. I guess they get away with this kind of stuff for a while. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When they were first showcasing their whatever they want to call it, right? When that song came out, Chioma, my lover, that song, right? Mm-hmm. That song. When that song came out, what was it, like 4 or 5 years ago now? Maybe not that long ago, right? I just knew Davido is too young. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Now, here's I didn't have a prediction per se, but it just didn't look like it will last. Especially that it did seem like he was in love. It was authentic. But I also know the mind and the heart of a young man. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know. Just a young man in general. Okay. Authentic, he's in love, he wants to showcase, he wants to do the right thing. But there's a difference between wanting to do the right thing and actually being capable of doing the right thing. And when I say capable, I say that very, very. I say that very, very. It's very lightly. Very lightly. So when I say capable, I'm talking about the actual reality, not what you would like it to be. We will all like to be able to say, I'm capable of being faithful, I'm capable of doing the right thing. We will all like to be able to say that or claim that. But for those of us that have been around long enough, we know that our capability is in emotional intelligence and nothing outside of that, right? Is in being able to understand that if you position yourself wrongly, you will do the wrong things. If you position yourself in a place where you start to feel funny or insecure, you will end up doing the wrong things. That's just how life works. And then you'll come back and you say, oh, I made a mistake. And then people will like, what do you mean a mistake? It was premeditated, right? Then you're going to be in a position where you'll be like, wait, I tried to do the right thing. Or you know what? What happened? You know what? I messed up. No, I messed up because you knew that you were trying to do the right thing, but it just didn't work out. The one that we're most familiar with, like you knew that you couldn't do it, but you were just a liar. And everything in between, right? I think Davido falls on the spectrum of he knows the kind of lifestyle he's exposed to, but he's in love. Being in love is not enough. It's just a feeling. That feeling goes up and down. You can't trust it. Not even in yourself. Right? So, and when you're young, you might even try to love, actually true love, real love, try to do the right thing from a place of commitment. But also you're young, right? So you don't really understand. You don't have full context of what life is. That's why you see a lot of young people will say things like, but what's wrong with, no, just do the right thing. They'll say that like, and it's like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Absolutely right. You're right.
Well, you're right.
You're right. Well, you just don't know what you don't know. Thank you. It's 2018. Thank you, Apan. Thank you. Good to see you, sir. Oma, I'm actually not sure, but it says Apan man. Yes, 2018. Yeah. You just don't know what you don't know, you know? So I would say if you're going to be intentional, you need to focus on positioning and emotional intelligence. Positioning and emotional intelligence. If you position yourself in the front of temptations, you will be tempted. It's just the way it works, especially if you're young. See, if you've been there, done that, and you've made mistakes and you're a little bit older, you've had some experience. Davido doesn't. He just doesn't. The only experience he has is being a superstar. That's not life. That's not reality. Okay? You know who has faced reality right now after being a superstar? Go take a look at the last news that you're getting from Trey Songz's camp. Right? Yeah. Trey Songz, yes. And I think maybe Chris Brown has learned a little bit, but not really. Not really. Koti Debe. Some people may never learn. You can ask Bill Cosby at the age of 80. Because they thought they would be invisible for a long time. 70 years, 60 years of being a superstar, rock star. You're exposed to temptations everywhere. Like on a consistent basis, you go out there, you have to work it on a consistent basis, right? So I'm not sure if Davido is capable of being able to love from an intentional place. He's in love. That's why he's falling in and out of love. That's why it looks beautiful and everybody loves it. All their online in-laws are loving it too. So maybe it will be an exception. Usually it's not going to work out. Usually, okay? And it's not an way. It's just what it is. It's just the way we're set up as human beings and the position of being a rock star that is in, right? But he may just be an exception, right? You never know. So I can't write him off, right? But the foundation of just being in love is just not going to be enough, right? He will need to be intentional, and that means having people probably right now he probably has a bunch of yes mans around him. He will need to have people that can hold him accountable around him. All right, people that will say no, don't do that. No. Now, as a matter of fact, oh yeah, get out. All the girls right now, get out. People that can say that even when it says no, leave them alone. They say no, fuck you, get out. Right? If he doesn't have that, or more, a matter of time. This is beautiful right now, but it will only last so long. Why? Because it's just not a good foundation. That's what I have to say about Chioma, and Davido, and they should enjoy it while it lasts. If they end up being together forever, highly unlikely. I'm not cursing them, right? I'm just telling you based on what we know about how human beings work, right? If they last, right, it will be because they've done the work. There's no such thing as true love forever just fall out of the skies. It doesn't exist. That's the point I'm trying to make. It will be because they've done the work. Okay? That's the only way. That's the only way. All right. So what do y'all think about this video right here? Baba is riding bicycle. You gotta love it, right? Speaking of Peter Obi, he means business. How many of you are watching me, either a rebroadcast or live, and you're batified? Are you batified or you're obedient? I want to know. Please tell me in the comments, in the chat. Are you batified or you're obedient? I would like to know. Let's do a little small poll, right? Somebody's like, why are you assuming that Atiku doesn't have a chance? Somebody is saying like Ola, why are you assuming that Atiku does not have a chance? I don't think it does. Based off of what I'm seeing right now, I just don't think. Maybe, you never know. Anything can happen between now and when? February? Anything can happen. You just never know, right? Anyway, let me share this screen with you. Let me do a quick celebration. Most of the other platforms you go to, they never share. They only share bad news when it comes to relationships, right? Most of the platforms you go to, they only share bad news. So yesterday we did Appa says she rest her beg. Are you sure? There's no the rest though. Look now. Rest to be tibao. Right? Is this what you talking about? He should rest. It's not the he did rest for long, but he did in there on he's on top of on what is this, a treadmill, a cycler or whatever they call this, right? It's working out. He means business. Anyway, I'm not sure Tinubu is gonna go rest. Baba is serious, dead ass. Does this look like a joke to you? Somebody said this is the same video that was used last year or something like that. I'm not sure, but anyway, whatever this means is about this presidency. He's not going to rest, obviously, right? Yeah. So anyway, let me show you. Let's celebrate some good people. Okay, this guy is a radio host. His name, they call him IK, radio host, TV personality in Nigeria, celebrating 14 years. He's also out there exposed to a lot of industry events, a lot of girls. He can decide not to be disciplined. Doesn't mean he doesn't make mistakes. Remember, that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is that he can come out with full chest and celebrate his wife. 14 years. 14 years no be your mate at the end of the day. Okay? So I celebrate this man, IK Osakiodua. So that's how we've been married. This is a quote, and I quote, "That's how we've been married now for 14 years. Wow, we're almost becoming a serious couple." Oh. Smiley face. He knows how to banter. I remember when I first mentioned marriage to you, I told you then that I could see us being friends for the rest of our lives. I'm really excited that 14 years down, I still feel the same way. Nothing has changed apart from the color of your hair. Every month. You're still the one for me, even with your skoin reality. Let's keep this thing going. Let's keep talking to each other, listening to each other, learning every day about ourselves and who we are becoming. Also, let's take more pictures together. I realize we definitely don't have enough. Let's even go to studios to do photo shoots. I love you. That's the name? Weed. Here's forever. I celebrate them. Celebrate them. You see Kemi Adetiba here? Kemi Adetiba is one of my favorites, by the way. God bless you both. Here's to 65. Gbemi is also one of my favorites. Happy anniversary. Omawumi is one of my favorites as well. Happy anniversary. A bunch of people are celebrating this. How come this kind of news never go viral? That's my question. How come this never go viral? Ishuburu. Right? Okay. If they don't, they go viral a little bit sometimes, small. At least we know that how many people are celebrating this, right? We know. I can't see the number of people liking on this, but we know that they're being celebrated right now by even people with blue checks, right? How come? Okay, we see 14,000 people like this. If this was their divorce, how many people would like on this? If this was they are doing both gas on the internet, how many people will like on this? Forget likes. How many people will be viewing this and be taking screenshots of this and be sharing it around town? How many people? So I'm not judging the people that spread bad news faster. Bagava says bad news travel fast. That's a fact. I'm not judging people that do this. It's just the nature of human beings. I just want you to be aware. Okay? That's all you. Awareness is half the battle won. I just want you to be aware that that's the reality. And me, I will continue to be committed to bringing good news like this. Of course, I have to cover the bad news so we can extract the lessons too. But if I see a good one like this, I will be celebrating it. Especially if it's our own. Right? Speaking of our very own, I think I got one more. We have President Obama celebrating 30 years. 30 years. He says, Mitch, after 30 years, I'm not sure why you look exactly the same and I don't. That's that stress from being the president of the greatest country in the world. But he still looks good in my opinion. I do know that I won the lottery that day, that I couldn't have asked for a better life partner. Happy anniversary, sweetheart. If you haven't read his book, his newest memoir, go find it and read it. None of these people fall out of the skies with couple goals. They worked on it. They had their own struggles. And I think he had at least one chapter dedicated to their own struggles as a young couple. Go find it, read it. If you're looking, if you tend to enjoy the negative, yeah, you're not so perfect. Okay, find people that have success and go and read their struggles. So that at least at the end of it, you can say, okay, this is how they worked it out. Not people that just end in Africa all the time. That too is fine because people end up in that situation. It's not their fault. Okay? A lot of time, it's not directly their fault. But I'm just saying, if you're planning to do this right, or you want to do it right again, or you want the chance to do it right, look at people that were lucky enough. See, I still use the word luck, right? They were lucky enough to figure something out to get through to the other side of it. They do exist. They're just not loud, or they don't go viral. Okay? That's cute, right? Check that out. 30 years later. This was only 30 years ago. 30 years ago is just 1992. But times move fast. That's 30 years at the end of the day. 30 years is not to your mate. All right. So I wanted to show you that. All right. So let's go to this other one. It's a very weird video here. Let's look at this very weird video. Because we're going to enjoy a little bit of music. Let's do this. Let's talk about this. Ladies, let's talk about this. Ladies. Now I talk to the men all the time. Let's talk about this one right here. What does it say? Single ladies in search of husbands rock wedding gowns during a church service. Ladies, why now? Shout out to Instablog Niger for being a gift that keeps giving. Why? But let's talk about it. Maybe it's not your fault. But let's hold ourselves accountable on this one. There's too many ladies participating in this kind of buffoonery, foolery. Anyway, let's go. My voice may be a little low. Let's watch this. They are saying, carry me, they go. They're singing it. What's this? What do you call this kind of music? High life? War or high life or something like that. Carry me, they go. Why? What is this exactly? What's going on, Just J? Good to see you, Just J. Good to see you, Brother Patrick. Late night. I'm just going to leave you alone, Brother Patrick. We're going to be done in a few minutes here. Yes, I saw Auntie B posted this earlier as well, too. Like, why? Kilo Day. We have to talk about this. We'll round off tonight with this. Carry me they go. Let me translate to Just J. Just J is an honorary Nigerian. Her name is Jolasun. What's the other name I gave you, Just J? I gave you another name, right? But these are women who are desperately looking for husbands. Hmm? Pre-wedding ritual. These are women desperately looking for husbands, right? So in a nation like Nigeria, you have people that can manipulate this type of ladies into ritualistic, weird practices that is probably going to make matters worse for them. And I'll explain why. It's not directly spiritual only. I'll explain why. That this is, if you participate in this kind of stuff, it's probably going to turn badly for you. And it's not that spiritual. Okay? It's a mindset thing. I only talk about mindset stuff here anyway. I let people do their spiritual talk thing, but I think for me, spirituality is more so about mindset. Like you literally attract who you are. If you don't work on yourself, you will continue to attract who you are. And there's a good chance that you will blame the rest of the world. You will blame everything else but self. Hmm. Carry me, they go. Bhagavad says, so this lady just bought wedding gown and went to invoke husband in church. Now, wow. This one will be like witches meeting. Witches meeting doesn't get any more ritualistic than this. What else do they go there to do based on at least what we've seen in movies, right? They go there to perform rituals, to invoke certain things, right? They might as well just call themselves a bunch of witches, right? But their problem is actually deeper than that, and I will explain. All right, so let's talk about this really quickly. It's a mindset issue, okay? It's a mindset issue. The reality is that there are maybe three factors at most. There's some other minuscule factors that play a role in what you attract into your own life, okay? Okay? But at most, as far as major factors, there are three. There are three, okay? And one of them is interwoven with the other, okay? Number one is attraction. No one else is going to tell you this. You're not going to hear this on any other platform. On other platform, they're going to tell you it's because of the way you dress. Okay? The way you dress, yes, it is a factor, but it's very minuscule. There are people that dress like 3 or 4s and they get married. Okay? Once they get married, they settle in, they say, I'm a wife, let me adjust. They exist. Okay? They exist. In fact, they exist a lot. So that's not really a major factor. Some people would say it's because you're not feminine enough or because you're not submissive. All that is nonsense. Women generally want to submit, naturally want to submit, but the environment has to be conducive for it. It's not something that people are deliberate like that about. Okay? People are not randomly deliberate about it. It's just like a man who wants to mind his business, take care of his business, take care of his household. It's a natural thing, right? He will go, he's naturally attracted to adversity and walking through those adversities. And as a matter of fact, if there's no hoops for him to jump through, he's going to start feeling less than a man. He needs challenges. That's what builds him as a man. So there's no, oh, you need no, the environment needs to be conducive. That's the point I'm making. Okay, so there are three factors. I know you're waiting for it. Seduction. Ladies, you have the power to be seductive. You just may not know it. The older you get, the less you know about your seductive power, or how to use it at least. Even when you were younger, you probably didn't know exactly about it necessarily. Okay? But let me just shut this thing down so we're not messing up our noise. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So even when you were younger, you could use the power, but you're not necessarily aware that you were using the power. So the older you get, the less you, because you never really knew that you had that kind of power anyway, the less you use it. Okay? Why? Because there's only so much energy you have, right? Something replaces, there's no such thing as vacuum. Something replaces it. What replaces the experiences you're gathering? The experiences you're gathering, a lot of them are negative. Majority are actually positive, all right? But the negative ones, like we were saying, negative news travel faster earlier. They in your neurons, in your body, in the way your mindset is set up, the negative experiences you have travel faster and occupies your mind a lot more easier because they're negative. So you build up walls. So when you build up all these walls, your mind is busy focusing on protecting yourself. Just want to protect. That's why some people call it masculine. Naturally, you want to protect yourself because this is, in fact, a dangerous world. The older you get, the more aware you are of the fact that this world is a very dangerous place, especially emotional matters. Okay? So, of course, you're not thinking, I'm not about to seduce this man. What you're thinking is that it's a knock. Anytime he shows a little bit of narcissistic behavior, that's what you see. You see the red flags everywhere. Even before it happens, you can smell it coming. But that's so much energy, your own personal emotional energy that's consuming. So the last thing you're thinking about is something you didn't even know you had before, which is the power to be able to seduce, right? The power to be able to seduce a man. Now, one of there's a ton of things that we'll start to uncover here in terms of what your power is as a woman when it comes to your seductive power. Okay, but I'll tell you right now that the something that's not seductive is desperate behavior. Okay, one thing that's extremely seductive is confidence. Extremely sexy. If you are a sexy woman, there are men who don't know the difference between confidence and masculine woman. They don't know the difference because, again, they have the same thing is happening to them. They've been hurt and they want to protect themselves. The only thing they pay attention to is what to avoid, what not to do, what to avoid. So that consumes all their energy. So they're not able to even recognize a feminine energy. They confuse that sometimes with confidence. But I tell you, to a healthy man, confidence is one of the most sexiest things. And if you're desperate or you come off as desperate, you don't have to mean to be desperate. You don't have to intentionally be desperate. You just have to come off as desperate. You can be completely innocent about how it happens. Right? You can be completely innocent about it. Good to see you. I see Chinye is in the house. Yes, late. Yes, late. But it's okay. Right? You can rewind later, right? So if you the struggle is real. Because again, remember, the older you get, the less aware you are about your power to be able to seduce any man you want. Healthy man, okay? Emotionally healthy man. All they need is for you to show up like you're confident. There's nothing about this video that we just saw that looks like confident women. It looks like desperate women who are crying out for help, and they will take any type of husband. If you're the type of woman that would take any type of husband, you will settle for anything. That's not sexy. That's not sexy. Okay? It's not sexy. Now, to be fair to this type of women that will do this kind of stuff, for you to get into this space of your mind where you're so desperate But someone's like it's like anointing oil. Go and buy yourself a wedding gown. Come, we're going to prophesy to your life. For you to be in that space of what's the word? Desperacy? Let's just make it up if it doesn't exist. For you to be in that space, it's not necessarily your fault. If your mindset has deteriorated that bad, it could be because of maybe time. You're looking at your age, but there's absolutely options for you. You can seek help. You can seek the help of professionals. They can help you invoke the confidence in you. The only thing you should be invoking is the confidence, because it's inside of you. It's not outside. There's no prophet that's going to help you give you anointing oil or some. There's nothing on the outside. It comes from the inside. But if you're coming off as so desperate that you lost all your social skills, right? Like they can put a camera in your face and you don't feel ashamed to be dancing like this. It's already bad. But people don't wake up overnight and realize it's this bad. That's not how it works, right? It's a slow and gradual thing, right? Sometimes it starts with a guy doesn't want to mess with you anymore, but you keep begging him, right? So it's somebody you can't negotiate desire. You have to let him go fast enough so that the right person can come into your life. The right person may be even him. Maybe he needs to go work on himself first. Another person. He becomes another person. A person that's growing up, that's becoming better, and then he can come back. But what I am saying within the context of today's message for you is that you have to focus on working on yourself. It's inside. Your happiness is inside of you. It's not outside. And be careful, because when you live in a society where it's poverty reading, everything is about what someone can give you, handouts and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes you just can't think straight. It's a mindset thing. But again, it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could be something very mild. It could be something like it's always dismissive. It doesn't acknowledge what you have to say. It's never going to change if there is no pain that comes with that behavior. People only change when they are running away from pain or towards some kind of relief of pleasure or pleasure. People just don't change just because it doesn't work. Okay? People don't change their behavior just because. Just because I want to do the right thing. No. It's bullshit. Now, the right thing can be camouflaged as maybe religion, camouflaged as a set of morals and values, but it's because it makes them feel safe. It's because it's still a form of relief, pleasure for them. Okay? So if you don't find out what it is, right? If you don't find a way to understand what is the value that this person is getting from I'm looking for the word. If you don't find out what the value the person is getting from being abusive, let me just use the word. If you don't find out what that value is so that you can remove that, so that it becomes a painful experience, so they can stop getting that value, you need to do all the math of everything I've said. What I'm saying is that people will not change their behavior unless they are gravitating away from pain or towards some kind of relief, right? Everything I just said is all in seduction, okay? The second thing is attraction. They're all related. Seduction, attraction, seduction, attraction. It's not somebody's prayer. Listen, prayer works. Don't get me wrong. But I think patience works even better, personally, okay? I also think learning how attraction, seduction, emotional intelligence, how those things work, I think when you mix that up together with prayer, you become dangerous in a good way. Okay? That means you're able to get anything you want. Okay? But anyway, the main reason why this is a terrible video at best is because this bunch of desperate women, nothing good can come out of it. Nothing good. Okay? Somebody's gonna say, oh, I'm an exception. I did something like this, and the next thing my husband contacted me, and we've been married for 5 years. Congratulations. For majority of you, please don't engage in this type of behavior. Focus on working on yourself. Regain your confidence back. Confidence is sexy. And somebody's gonna say, "Oh, but sexy is not how you get married." It's exactly how you get married. It's exactly how you get married. Okay? He will put a ring on it. He won't be able to sleep. He won't have peace of mind until he puts a ring on it. Okay? So, and that's just a form of encouragement for you to know that you don't really need to be seeking outside of yourself. Okay? Confidence is easy but hard at the same time. With time, with failure over time, your confidence gets shot naturally because again, you're having all these bad experiences, all the disappointments, betrayals, right? Naturally, you start to question your own ability. But I'm telling you, it's just a natural thing. You can now rise above that and then get more knowledge about how that works. Get some coaching, get some therapy, get some counseling, right? Surround yourself with good news. If you surround yourself with enough news like iCase news, right? If you get more excited about those kind of news, like Barack Obama's news, find success stories and read them. It will register into your brain as your reality. You start showing it out. Does that sound spiritual to you? So be it. Okay? But to me, the way I understand it is really in your mind. What you surround yourself with becomes your reality. What you're feeding into your mind all the time becomes your reality. It's just the way the human beings work, the human mind works. Okay? So let's focus on that. Okay? And I think we should leave it at that. We've done an hour. We're going to do an hour every night this week since it's so late, right? Do me a favor. Share it wide. Share it wide. Let me see what Patrick is going to leave us one word today. Being single is not the same thing as being married. Single is a phase in life. If you bypass singleness, it will reflect in your marriage. Enjoy your single. Absolutely. 100%. 100. In fact, the way I interpret that is that including you if you're divorced, whatever state you are in right now, if you don't learn how to appreciate it doesn't mean you want it to repeat itself. It just means you identify, you acknowledge it. If you don't appreciate it, that there's something about this position I'm in right now that God wants me to learn from. That's you basically showcasing the grass is greener on the other side. You think when you get married, it's going to be better. That's the grass is greener on the other side syndrome. No, that's like your shadow. Your shadow follows you everywhere. If you don't work on yourself and embrace where it is right now, if you do attract marriage, you're going to essentially replicate. Marriage by itself is not your source of happiness. It's not. Okay? Your source of happiness is you. And then you attract other people that want to mimic the way you take care of yourself, the self-love you have for yourself, the self-respect. They just can't see themselves disrespecting the type of care you've given yourself. It's not deliberate. They wouldn't do it. They just don't see you as the person to disrespect. Right? So appreciate where it is right now. If it's single, married, divorced, whatever it is, appreciate it as an identify, acknowledge. Say, God, I know you want me to learn something in this position. And then work on yourself. Be wholesome. When you're wholesome, I don't know if that's a word. I think it's a good word, right? You're not going to last on the market anyway. You won't. You won't, okay? Somebody's going to want a piece of that. But they will come with their A game because they need to mimic the way you take care of yourself. Okay? And if you feel like that's not reflecting yet, ask questions. There's probably a reason. It's probably something you can't see. Okay? Let me not spoil it. Let me leave it at that. Thank you so much for that word, Patrick. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. Let's see here. Let's make sure we move back to some good vibes. Right? Good vibes. I think most of you watching me are probably in the United States. Make sure you have a good rest. We're going to get back at this thing called life tomorrow. Right? So let me let you stay out late. Well, before you end the night, right? Just do me one small favor, right? On your way out, hit the like button. Okay? Hit the like button, right? And hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.